Today is Wednesday, hump day. Stupid name. I'm doing this vlog again, day 6. And honestly, I don't know why I continue with making any of this stuff. Because it's like everyone seems to hate it. Doesn't matter what I create, and I just seem like the whole world is based upon views. So it doesn't matter what you do, they just look at it and go, oh, 11 views, 2 views, 10 views, so therefore you have no values. And I don't care if it was 1,000 views, it would still never be enough for anybody. And when you get to 10,000 views, it's not enough for 50,000 views. And 50,000 views is not enough for 150,000 views. 150,000 views, not a million? A million views, not a billion? It's just like, doesn't matter where you're at. It just seems like it's never good enough until you're like too good that you're now too good. I find where I live is that everybody's just full of judgment, but they judge, but they don't do. I can't tell you how many fake friends I don't have. I mean, I have lots of fake friends. No one is my real friend. I have absolutely no friends. I just went on this long rant, and I saw that the phone wasn't even on. I spoke for like 10 minutes just now. Well, I gotta summarize what I just said. That I'm better off without friends. Cut the wheat from the chaff. Let that gaff go. I realized that it's not a new realization. I'm just telling you that I don't actually have any friends. I don't speak to anybody other than on the phone, other than to myself, like to this, and to like my mom. And I really hold no friends. I have maybe 1,000 people I would say they're my friends, but they're not really my friends. They've never actually, I would say, been there for me. They've never actually come through for me, and they just kind of hate and judge and critique all I do, and then they do nothing themselves. These you should have done this, and you could have done that, and I would have done this, and I would have done that, but I didn't do it, and I'll tell you how to do now after the facts. I'll now grade your critique and judge and do what you did and didn't do, and I'm all these shoulda, coulda, woulda people who just, have these overinflated egos. It's like they must have so much self-love, and yet that they can judge everyone else while they do nothing, and meanwhile I do so much and yet get nothing for it. And they have all this inflated self-love ego, and I have all this ego of, I guess, self-detriment and critique and hate, because I seem to, no matter what I do, I can't measure up to people's greatness. No matter how good you are, you're never great enough. No matter no matter how much effort you put in, or art or harder work, in all the I have dozens of books and many more scripts, and thousands upon thousands of poems. They never liked my books. The scripts could always be better, and the poems, though, well, no one reads poetry. How dumb is that? And of the rap songs I've made and released, and I've only given out snippets of them, so I've never heard a full song, and I've never released the full videos, even I've got numerous rap songs, 200 of them, and half a dozen videos. Never released them all, yet they all can judge and say, yeah, it's not Kanye. It's not as good as the people I listen to. Well, like, let's go. They all have this opinion that they could do better and should have done better and would have done better and are better. Yet they seem to not cut any cheddar and do anything at all. So, I mean, that's the cheese, if you please. And I'm giving out the keys as best I can and trying to unlock the mysteries. But these people are just, in my history, have always been historically hard and cruel and unkind. And, it comes around to when it's birthdays. When it's birthday time, I'm there. I'd be like, yo, happy birthday. I want to make you feel special. I will go out of my way to write a nice message. Not just HB mofo, but I'll go out of my way to create some original, true feelings and connect to them and say something nice. And often actually giving offerings of gifts and presents. And I've done this relentless amount of times throughout my entire life, and yet I don't ever recall receiving basically ever anything from anyone ever on my birthdays. And that to me is the testament of like who a true friend is. They can remember your birthday. That you check mark, you're my friend. Thank you. That's nice. I'm not listed on Facebook, so the Facebook didn't tell you. And I'm not on Facebook, so I didn't remember your birthday by getting a notification. I just remembered your birthday in my head. I probably got 150 birthdays listed in here on people's birthdays. And that's just because I took the note to care. I wanted to make them feel special, because on my birthday, I don't feel special. They don't ever come and say, yo, let's celebrate you. Two times in my whole life. It's been a special party that we threw. And then it wasn't even about me at the party. It's about all these other fucking hookers they hired. Well, maybe they're not really hired, but you know what I'm saying? Just these people that they came, and it's all about trying to mac on chicks or something stupid. You know, like I never really enjoyed that game of like, you know, shaming your buddies to push them down to make yourself look better, to try and eagle eye the, you know, the what's wet, you know, like it just was weird. So I got this one friend who tells me he can beat me up in a fight no matter what. Yet I train in Kung Fu all the time, and he's never been in a fight in his life. He tells me he can run from his house to my house to his house, and in 8 minutes, but it's a 9-minute drive. Like, he says he can kick the ceiling. I got 10-foot high ceilings. He says that every writing is rewriting, and he's yet produced nothing. In that time I've produced, I can't even count the number of pages, but I can quantify it as thousands in that time, and thousands of videos in that time. He's not produced one. It's just, yet they can all tell me how dumb I am and how much I'm not good enough and how I suck for them and how it could be better, it could be this and should be this and should be that, and they critique and they critique and they critique and they compete, and yet then they do nothing but make me feel like I should listen to them and follow them and stop being a leader and follow me, Mark. I'll take you to success, and when you get there with your hard work, we'll give them the credit. And they will feel so inflated and great about that and say, hey, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. Well, fuck you, bro. Because you ain't my friend. And I don't need you. So I'm cutting you from the wheat and shaft. And I'm going to grow my own shit. I always do it anyways on my own. So what, you don't like it? I don't care. I'll find someone who does. And if you don't, then whatever. You hate on me too. Go and take it. I'm used to it. Just, you know, go to my YouTube channel. I already made you a video. It's a 15-minute story called The Story of Trolls. And it's about all the people that are just hating on people. And everyone wants equity and equality and inclusion and diversity, and says that they're so hard done by. Now amplify me. I've been marginalized, and give me a chance. Well, newsflash. Everyone's been marginalized. Everyone's been, you know, put down and treated like shit at some point. I can't think of anybody, except for anybody, that has not taken an insane amount of shit. And everybody thinks that because they have some like apparent appearance doesn't mean that those that don't, like, what I'm, okay, the apparent appearance that I would have to a person that seems like they're marginalized, say someone on crutches, they're obviously they have a harder time. Someone who's you know, has suffering from this disablement has a harder time. My disablements might not be apparent on the outside. I might seem like an able-bodied person compared to who? Compared to my friends who are 6'2", and then the women just gravitate to them because that guy is 6'9", and wow, he's so like, it's just like, wow, you know, 5'10", is not 6 feet. I can't be a model, so I was then not allowed to audition for those roles. Oh, geez, you know, you're not quite the big guy, you're not quite the small guy. And the small guy, we got to give him the Napoleon complex too, so his ego's big too, so we're going to let him do his thing, and, you know, you're just a fucking dickhead. And I've been treated like garbage by everybody almost my entire life, and I've given out so much of my heart and care and kindness and offerings and art, and yet it's just been like fucking thrown in my face every time. And do you think that just because you're a certain race, creed, color, or disability that now everybody else is is entitlement to now lift you up with this equity and equality and inclusion. These words are fucking taking over the world. Every single person has been limited. So therefore, when you ask for those things, then understand we all suffer at points. You know, like, oh, people say, oh, white privilege. I'm sure if you fucking go through so many places and people in the world and look at the homeless people, I mean, they're all, mostly in this country, are white. And if you look at homeless people homeless people, but you look at white people in the middle of America, I bet there's a lot of white trash who are not privileged. So this concept that everybody is a male or white and the worst, you know, or the fact that I give my art out to people and it could always be better, it's never good enough, or I write a sentence and my friends or a script or a book and my friends, yeah, I can do better, but they've written nothing. So, oh, no one likes poetry, no one likes your videos, no one likes you. Fuck you. I'm out here giving my best and doing what I can. I'm giving out my heart, my art. I'm making myself vulnerable and exposed. I'm lying on the couch in my fucking sleep clothes after being up to 5 a.m. in the morning creating content nonstop, and I'm trying just to, like, break through to find something of value, and I keep doing it. I've made thousands of paintings, even more so poems, and even more so between the two stories. Endless amounts of videos. Right now on this phone, there's 50,000 photos and 11,000 videos. I can prove that. It's that number. It's pretty close to that number. I mean, what do you want from me? I'm asking, like, what do you want? I don't understand how YouTube works. I have posted 335 videos this year alone, and I think there's some good content in there. I think I've given them in different varieties of so-called niches within the same platform, within the same kind of concept of niche, but within playlists to separate what the themes could be, from comedy, controversy, social commentary, and conspiracy, and artful creations. I mean, that's pretty good, but it's never reached anybody. And I'm looking at this thing called TubeBuddy. By the way, I make everything on this phone. I don't even own a computer, so I do everything on one single device. And, that's just what I have. I can't even afford a fucking computer right now. Last 5 years, been writing movies and books. I wrote an entire couple of movies and a whole book on a phone. I use this device called TubeBuddy, which doesn't even work with phones, so I got to get someone else who has a computer in another city to say, hey, can you type this into TubeBuddy and see, and then I'll give you my passwords and maybe it'll link me to you, and then we can then use the device, and then helps me try and, like, get better, keyword searches and titles. And I've typed in this thing 1,000 times of keywords, and it still says none of my tags or keywords are registered. Like, what am I doing wrong? If there's somebody out there right now on YouTube who has a successful YouTube page and can be verified, I've got X amount of followers, therefore I'm considered successful, I will pay you cash right now to message me on my YouTube channel, masterpiecemarketthebeast@gmail.com, and let's talk. I will pay you. Whoever wants a job and you're seeing this, I will pay you. The thing is, no one's going to see this because the keywords are not registering me online. So no one's even coming across my videos. I send my videos to 100 people and 50 people see it. I send them to 100, 250 people I know, 200, 150 out of 200 people I send them to, 50 say, fuck you, Mark. 100 people don't watch it and the same 50 do. The same 20 people watch my videos. My videos are not being seen by the public eye. The keywords are not being linked to the rest of the web. I don't understand what technical glitches are not being connected to make my videos reach the audience of the world. It's weird. So if you're seeing this, you're probably someone I know. You're probably just my mother and my one distant digital friend. What's up, Justin? And everybody else doesn't give a shit about me. And I'm asking you to have some fucking heart. There's a guy here trying to be his best and offer something good, and this is a rant and a raving maniac right now who's just, like, been told by somebody else that you suck.